Oh, happy day, everybody. I wanted to check in just for a second on this, giant event I keep talking about. I'm sure I'm not the only one talking about it on the 21st, which is Monday. And it's where that, if you've seen, it says it like it's going to be almost as if you look in the sky, the Star of Bethlehem, which is drawing our attention. And it's because the way that Saturn and Jupiter are going to be uh, so close to each other. And that's a lovely thought, right? Oh, wow, the star is going to be seen like that, and it's a wonderful idea. But what does it mean for us? Like, what's the idea, and how is that affecting us? And so the thought is that Saturn is that planet for us, which is always contracting. It's that contracting part of ourselves. And Jupiter is our prosperity. It's all of our expanding quality of ourself. And both, when they come together, are going to help us to come to that balance point or that place of equanimity. And when we think of, as a yogi, what it is that we are praying on a daily basis for, it would be that place of peace, right? It's in the Bhagavad Gita, in our great sacred text of the Gita. It's Krishna, which is the God self, speaking to Arjuna, which is a human self. But what is the God self? What is it that we want to keep our attention consistently on? And that's peace. So Krishna is divine peace, its ultimate place that we can stay balanced in our life and in our mind, right, and in our breath. And so that also brings me to the idea of faith, because in the Gita it says, have your mind set on me, meaning Arjuna, our human self, have your mind set on me, Krishna, the God self. But again, the God self being peace, equanimity. And to do that, to consistently have your mind on that place of equanimity and peace, means that we can stay, or that we hope to have faith in that will always bring us where we need to go. And so there's this really great story, but I'm going to warn you, it has a little blood in it. So sorry at 9:30 in the morning. This is a little bloody story, but this is the way it goes, when you hang out with me. So I love this story so much, and it's a little long. So if you wish to lie down, you're welcome to do that, or just close your eyes. So the saint Kanapar, when he was young, he was known as Tin Apar, which meant hefty boy. As a child, he was quite strong and solid, so his father called him Tinapar. He grew up to become a hunter. One day he went hunting with two friends. At one point, they were chasing a wild boar. Even as they aimed their arrow, the boar ran up and over a hill. Pursuing the animal, they too went over this unfamiliar hill and saw a small shed. The animal seemed to have led them there. What is this? They wondered. Who is inside? Tinapar opened the shed and saw a Shiva lingam. So a Shiva lingam is a stone that is in the form of a lingam, which is always often something that is done during practices, devotional practices you give offerings to. Um, People worship this, said Tinapar. And immediately, up into his mind, he had memories of Lord Shiva and of giving all this devotion to the Shiva lingam. So this was something from a past life, maybe, but whatever it was, he remembered this and it touched him so deeply. His friends continued on the hunt, but Tinapar became madly attached to the Shiva lingam and cried out, my dear Lord, you're all alone here. Who takes care of you? Who feeds you? Because it is part of the Indian tradition that you would go to the altar and always bathe the statues and give them food and dress them. Beautiful, beautiful offering, right? Who takes care of you? Who feeds you? No one bathes you. Bathes you. You must be terribly hungry. See, all of his past devotion rose up inside of him. Wait, wait, he said, I'll give you a bath and some nice food. So he ran all the way to the bottom of the hill, searched for a big juicy pig. Sorry, here we go. Killed it and began to barbecue it. As he roasted the flesh, he kept tasting it to see whether it was cooked well enough or not. And then he threw away the parts that were no good. He put the choicest sections on his big banana leaf and started up the hill. And as he was holding holding this leaf carrying the offering. He remembered that first he should bathe the deity before offering food. He didn't have a vessel for carrying the water. What can I do? He wondered. Then an idea came. He ran to the source of water, carefully rinsed his mouth, and then took a big mouthful of water and held it as he ran up the hill with the pork in his hand, water in his mouth, back to the altar. God, God, he tried to call out with the water in his mouth. And then he leaned toward the Shiva Lingam and he poured the water from his mouth over the deity. In that way, he'd given a nice bath and then he placed the pork on the altar. He became very, very happy. He felt that he had fed God. He danced around. He was so joyful. And every day I'll come back and do this. He promised. You will never have to be alone again. I'll be back tomorrow. And he went down the hill. So Tinapar didn't know that on the other side of the big hill, there was a village. And in the village lived a devotee, a Brahmin priest, who would come every day to this hidden altar, worshipped there, and then left again. The next morning, very early, the priest came. He walked into the hidden temple, and when he arrived, he saw the pork, and then he was stunned. What devil is coming here and putting all this disgusting stuff here? My Lord, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, who polluted you in this way? Disgusted and repulsed, he began to clean everything. He got fresh water, purified and sanctified everything. He came back and did a special, much longer puja or worship. He prescribed scriptures. He offered flowers. Please forgive me for letting this happen. I hope it will never happen again. Who vandalized you like this? Thus, he worshiped with such sincerity and devotion, and then he returned to his village. And by noon, Tinapar returned, saw the flowers, and said, My Lord, someone's only left you some flowers. They didn't give you anything to eat. And off he went again to get him food. You must be hungry. This time he was already ready with the pork. He poured the water from his mouth over, and he kept doing this over and over and over again. The Brahmin kept coming back, furious. How could this keep happening? And then God appeared to him in a dream. Don't worry, he said to the priest. You're a great devotee, but there's even one who's more devoted. He's a hunter. He doesn't know anything about fresh fruit and vegetable. All he knows is to give pork. He knows no rituals either, but his love is his worship. I admire his faith and devotion. Tomorrow after your worship, hide there and you will see true devotion. It gets a little grosser, you guys, so hang in there. Later that day, as his own worship was finished, he hid to watch. And as the hunter arrived, poured the water out of his mouth, put the roast pork down before the altar. Then Tenapur began to notice a dance of joy. But but as he was dancing, Tenapur noticed something in his devotion. Oh, sorry, Tenapur was dancing. In his devotion, he saw that the stone on the Shiva Lingam, that the eye, the part where there was an eye, started bleeding. He got so upset. God, what's happening? You're bleeding. Did someone hurt you? He what will I do? He went to get fresh herbs. He ran down the hill, got some fresh healing herbs, ran back, squeezed them onto the bleeding eye, but the bleeding didn't stop. He started to cry. He was completely out of his mind. He didn't know what to do, and suddenly he knew. I know, an eye for an eye. That will take care of it, said the hunter. Just wait, Lord. Okay, here it goes. Let's get gross. He took his quiver. He took a sharp arrow and he applied the point of the arrow to the outside corner of his own eye, quickly pushed the arrow in and popped his own eye out of the socket. I'm sorry, but it's going to get better, I promise. Immediately, he put it into the Lord's bleeding eye. The moment he took his hand away from the bleeding stopped. He became so happy he didn't even think for a second about his own bleeding eye. Oh, Lord, I'm so happy I could help you. But afterwards, as he was ready, he saw the other eye. Again, same thing. Standing on one leg, now I can finally take care of you, Lord, in any way. I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit. So at the same moment, God appeared to the hunter, even bigger than ever before. He restored his vision and he said, You have been the most faithful. You have been the most faithful. And what I love about this story more than anything else is it's wherever you're at. You know, the hunter could only think to give something that would make him happy. That's what he knew. Our faith is so important right now to keep peace within ourselves and within our families. But the thing is, do it with great devotion. Trust that it's always going to be that background support, that love, that place that will always be there for you, always will have your back. So close your eyes if you haven't yet. What does devotion mean to you? What does faith mean to you? And what does it mean to you to keep your peace, be in that place of equanimity? And together, as we move into this beautiful time of winter solstice, this beautiful time of shifting energies, hold your peace. Hold it so much in devotion. Don't let anyone take it from you. Even as you heard the priest getting so angry because the hunter wasn't doing things the way he would do them. That's going to come up for us. It's coming up all the time. We don't do things the way other people do them. Don't let anyone steal your peace. Bring your hands to your heart center. If you're lying down, come on up, but wait, or you can stay laying down. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Om. Release your hands and open your eyes. Come onto your hands and knees and go ahead and press back to child's pose. Drop into your breath. Your back body, breathe deeply. Full faith. And Krishna says, put your faith, full devotion in me. Doesn't mean in that God as the God in the sky. Put your full faith in me, that I can retain peace, equanimity. That's what the Saturn Jupiter energy is returning back to balance. Come on up to your hands and knees and press back downward facing dog. And you can bend one knee and then the other, just kind of pedal it out for a moment. I think sometimes when we read the Gita, it's harder to think of it being a person, personified. Give your whole devotion to me. But when you think of Krishna as peace, it's a place of wisdom, maybe even as a place of nature. Return back to that place of equanimity. And then come to stillness and breathe deeply. Draw from this inner source. It's what we got. You can draw from the outer source of support, but draw from your inner source. Drink from your inner source. Walk your feet to your hands, please. Standing forward bend. And then put your hands on your outer shins. And then bend your knees slightly. Push your shins in, but widen your knees and scoop your low belly a lot. Push your shins in, but widen your inner knees. Good. Now pull your inner thighs wide and apart. Feel your sit bones go wide. And then go ahead and straighten your legs and deeply bow, clasping your hands behind your calf muscles, maybe holding on to low, all the way down. Yep. Maybe holding on to opposite wrists. Bow. Devotion. Deep devotion. Right? The priest at the end of the story was like, I can't even imagine having that kind kind of devotion, popping your own eyes out. Place your hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. And then bring your hands to your heart center with your eyes closed. Breath of fire. Inhale, exhale, pump your navel. Get some nice heat going. Beautiful. 30 more seconds. Gorgeous. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release your hands alongside the body. Inhale, reach your arms high to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Beautiful, everybody. Send your left leg back behind you. Drop your left knee to the mat. Inhale your arms to the sky. Anjaneyasana. And then bend your elbows. Lift your chest a lot. Good. Tuck your chin slightly. Pull your throat back more. And then allow your hands to come down to the floor. Lift your back knee up. Step your back foot in just a little bit and come to straight legs, both legs straight. Parsvottanasana. Make sure your left foot is slightly more out to the left so it's not directly behind your right heel. Again, devotion, bow deeply. Let your heart melt into you. Into you. Antonia, can you move your back foot more to the left? Oh, sorry, back to the right, to the right. Yeah, even more. And then turn the foot forward more. Yeah. You don't have blocks, do you? Perfect. All right, step to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Bend your knees, please. Just slightly wrap your hands back to your calf muscles again. Pull the calves forward. Scoop your low belly in a lot. Deeply bow. Drop your head. Drop your mind. Good. Hands on your hips. Push down through your legs. Rise up to stand. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. Keep the rib cage drawing in. Good. And take it to the other side. Draw that navel in. Lift the navel up. Strong navel center. Come back to center. Big inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Take your right leg back behind you. Drop the knee. Inhale the arms to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Bend the elbows. Lift the chest. Beautiful. Lean back, but keep that knee pointing forward. Big breath in here. Super beautiful. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift your back knee, step your back foot in just a little bit, go straight on both legs. And deeply bow. Long inhales, long exhales. I always ask the question, if we have faith in the universe and the cosmic mother and all that we practice in our yoga, why don't we have faith that the world is doing exactly what it needs to do right now? Good. Take 2 more breaths here. And at the end of that second long exhale, step back to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Bend your knees deeply, reach your arms forward and up, chair. Good. Now bring your torso parallel to the floor and reach your arms forward, shoot your butt back. Good. Keep sit bones moving back and wide. And then clasp your hands behind you and bow forward once again. Big bowing class, you guys. Bow forward. Each time return back to the altar of your heart. What you place on the altar, what you feed the altar. Release the hands down. Left hand to outer right ankle, right arm to the sky. Left hand, outer right ankle, right arm to the sky, twisting. Keep your hips nice and square. And twist to the other side. Press your thighs back, outer hip creases back. Gorgeous. Release the hands down, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Stepping the right foot forward. Virabhadrasana 1, first warrior. There you go. First warrior. Good. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take a breath into the heart and bow forward. Bring that head to the floor. Go ahead. Clasping your hands behind you. Deep bow. Releasing the hands down to the floor. Walk to your left until you come to the center of your mat. Turn, turn, turn. So you're facing the long side of your mat. Yep. There you go, Lauren. And a deep bow here. So your right foot is still forward. And yep, and just turn until you face the long side of your mat. Keep going. Your hands are going to be in the middle of the long side of your mat. So Antonia, keep going to your left. Walk to your left. Keep going, keep going, keep going to the center, and then turn your right foot parallel to your left and bow right there. Perfect. Forward bends, right? They're very soothing for our nervous system. So maybe that's a big part of it, right? Is when the nervous system is so whacked out that it's hard to have faith in something greater than ourselves. We feel like we have to do everything ourselves, right? It's all about if we don't do it, who will? I know that. I feel that. Good. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Great. Turn your right toes forward, bend your right knee, Virabhadrasana 2. And then slide your left arm down your left leg, take your right arm up and back. Beautiful. Stretch your right leg to straight, come into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Nice, everybody. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then release your hands down to the floor, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Rise up into cobra, lift up. And press back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Left foot steps forward, Virabhadrasana 1, first warrior. And then clasp your hands behind you. Take a breath into your heart and bow deeply forward. Yeah, let your head touch the floor. And as the hands float to the floor, go ahead and walk to the right until you come to the center of your mat. Turn your left foot, parallel your feet and bow. Make sure you're not locking your knees back. So you might even want to bend your knees and come slightly forward, and then try to press your legs to straight by pressing the tops of your thighs back, not your knees. Yeah, let your spine release. Let your nervous system relax. Breathe into your kidneys, release fear. Balance of dark and light, contraction and expansion, equanimity. We always are going to have dark, right? That's the whole deal with the Gita is like there always will be a war. It's the war of your mind. Return to peace. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Sometimes nice to take a moment just standing upright. And then turn your left toes forward, nice and bend your left knee, Vira 2. Slide your right arm down your right leg. Take your left arm up and back. Celebrate you. And it's okay. You can celebrate the times that you lose your peace. Straighten that front leg. And then reach forward for triangle. Why did you lose your peace? What took it away from you? It wasn't somebody else, although it's easy to say that, right? If it wasn't for them, what they're doing, what they're saying, I would keep my peace. Breathe into this body, this temple, this light, this dark. And then release your hands down to the floor. Super beautiful downward facing dog. Feel free to take it through a vinyasa or not, up to you. And then press back into child's pose. Rest onto your knees. I just love thinking of Krishna as the energy of peace and having faith in that. Wherever we are evolving as human beings, wherever we're moving toward, we know that it's up to us, right, to continue to speak words, to think thoughts that bring more peace into the world, more love into the world, more light into the world. Walk your upper body to the right side, get some space there. And then walk to the other side. One of the funny things and not so funny things about this 21 days that I've been doing with some of you that are actually on today is the more that we are elevating ourselves, the more we become these light bodies, right? Come back to center, downward facing dogs. Not that we aren't downward facing dogs, many dogs right now, downward facing dog. Not that we're not light beings, but the more that we feed ourselves consciously, the more that we do some more and more conscious actions, the more light, we are. Right foot forward, Virabhadrasana 2 again. And so yesterday I dropped off food to all my teachers as a little thank you gift for the amazingness that they are. And not one of them caught me. Not one of them saw me. Not one of them came to the door. I think I've become transparent. I don't think you can see me anymore. Straighten that front leg back to triangle pose. It was like a game I was playing, Can I get up to their door and leave before a dog barks or a person sees me? And can I do it before the snow starts? Good. Bend that right knee, come forward into half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Be the moon. Be the moon. Be the moon. Be the dark moon. Be the light moon. Maybe reach back and hold that ankle. Maybe stay right where you are. Whatever you're doing, open yourself up. Maybe it's a little more breath. And then step back to triangle, back to that spaciousness, back to that feeling of a giant star on its side. So right hand down to the floor, left arm to the sky. So regular triangle, yeah. Good, touch down, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Vinyasa of choice or none at all. Left foot steps forward when you're ready. Virabhadrasana 2, the warrior, the goddess warrior. Yes, let those arms extend and contract, right? So make sure you have that feeling of drawing in and expanding out. Straighten that front leg, triangle pose. Yes. Pull from the navel, root from the sternum, lift through the chest. Imagine I have my hands on your hips and I'm pressing down. So there's really this beautiful rooted feeling. But when you root, you get more space in the torso and the spine. And then come forward to half moon. Use a block underneath your left hand if that serves you well. Maybe reach back for that ankle if you'd like. Kicking your foot into that hand. Nice, Susan. Open that shoulder. Oh, yeah. And then back to triangle, back to that wide open space. So I could just reach up, but I also could reach in. Keep reaching in and trust that, have faith that reaching in is so, so magical and powerful. And touch down, downward facing dog. Good, roll forward to plank. Come all the way down to lie on your belly. Turn your cheek to the side for a moment. Let your body just be held from below. Turn your cheek to the other side. And then drawing your forehead back onto the mat, hands by your rib cage for cobra. Extend through your legs. Draw your navel in. Rise up into cobra. Draw those shoulders way back. Gorgeous. Come all the way back down. Now slide your hands behind you. Clasp your hands behind you. Navel in. Shoulders on your back. So lift the shoulders toward the ears and then slide them back. So you squeeze the shoulder blades onto your back. Lift up. Head, neck, chest. Gorgeous. Come on down. Reach back for your ankles. Navel in. Shoulders lifted. Lift both halves of the body. Come on up. And lower all the way down. Beautiful. Go ahead and press back. Take a breath in child's pose or maybe two. And then find yourself in downward facing dog. Beautiful. Step your right foot forward. Bring your left foot in just enough so both legs are straight. Hands on blocks are nice. And then take your right arm to the sky, twisting triangle pose, twisting triangle. Push your right hip crease back a little bit more. Good. And then look down to the floor, bend your right knee and come forward into, we're going to come into twisting Ardha Chandrasana. So lift your left leg up, lift your right arm up. Squeeze your legs as if you have a giant block between your legs. Good. And then step to the front of the mat, standing forward, bend, bow. I bow. I bow again and again. Though it's in great reverence, it's also that wonderful moment that you let your body move in the opposite direction, that energy flow. Good. Inhale, look forward and step back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Take Vashisthasana. Right hand holds you, left leg stacks on top, or drop the bottom knee. Right hand holds you, left leg stacks on top of the right. Yes, left arm to the sky. Beautiful. Nice line. And then switch to the other side. Vashisthasana, second side. Nice. Lift up, lift up, lift up. That's it. Hips up. And touch down. Downward facing dog. Gorgeous. Good. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps slightly in. We're going to take the left arm to the sky, twisting triangle. Squeeze your internal organs, squeeze everything from the inside. Good. And then step forward with that right hand. Left arm to the sky, right leg up, twisting Ardha Chandrasana. Absolutely beautiful. Nice land. Step back, downward facing dog. Let your heart be the anchor that's reaching toward the mat, and then lift your hips even higher. Good. Inhale that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split, and then send the right knee forward for pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Squeeze those knees toward each other, and then lie your forehead down onto the mat. If you need to come onto your back, feel free to do that. Right ankle on top of left knee. Nice, Amanda. Beautiful. Yeah, I like a block underneath my forehead here. So your right knee is forward, your left leg is back in pigeon. Your right knee comes up to your right wrists. So if you come back onto your hands and knees, yeah, just slide, Lauren, your right knee forward so it's right by your right wrist, and slide your left leg back. Good. And then bring your forehead down to the floor. You got it, my friend. Nice job. And again, if this bothers anybody's right knee, lie on your back and bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. In these 21 days, we have chosen, Josh and I, and suggested for any of those of you that are doing it with us to stay away from white sugar, not sweet stuff. We have suggestions for sweets because all the tastes are important for us. But stay away from white sugar, white flour. You know, and I've always known this. People talk, oh yeah, I went off all of that. And I am amazed, and we aren't doing dairy either. I am amazed at how in these 21 days I've definitely lost weight, which is amazing too. But my energy level is skyrocketed. It's truly what we place in our mouth, what our bodies can digest. No processed foods, which means I've been cooking almost 3 meals a day, which is good. I like that. But that's why it's so sweet, right? When he was talking about feeding the Shivalingam, feeding the beautiful statue. You give that much devotion to something outside of yourself, give that much devotion to something inside of yourself. That's the point of giving the outward devotion, is to do it then to yourself, for yourselves. Good. Come on up. Downward facing dog. And then left leg back and up behind you, left knee forward for pigeon. Yeah, let's squeeze those knees toward each other. Keep the navel in, keep the back body full, and then come forward onto your forehead if you want to put your forehead on a block. It's quite sweet. Lots of breath here, please. Keep the mind steady. Full faith. Sanskrit is Shraddha. Full faith in this lifetime, in the dark and in the light, in the void and in the expansive and contracted forms of ourselves, all the phases of the moon. Have faith. They're all important. Beautiful. Walk yourself up, downward facing dog. And then walk or jump to the front of your mat, standing forward, bend again. Bow, bow, bow. And hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. And just pause for a minute here and feel. Good, drawing your left knee into your chest. Place your left ankle on top of your right knee. Flex that left foot a lot and then sit back toward chair. So just ankle on top of knee, reach your arms up. Now clasp your hands behind you and start to bow forward any amount, keeping the ankle on top of the knee, shoulder blades on your back. Lean forward, lean forward. Keep sending your butt back, sit bones wide. That's it. Keep going, keep going. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, release. Nice. Beautiful, everybody. Okay, second side. Here we go. Take your right knee into your chest, ankle to knee, flex the foot a lot. Clasp your hands behind you. Remember, the head of those shoulders have to lift up and back. Don't diminish your side body. Keep the side body nice and long. And then lean forward, lean forward. Keep the butt moving back, sit bones back and wide. And come on up. Good. Now hug your left knee into your chest again. Good. Take your arms up to the sky. And send your left leg back behind you. Clasp your hands behind your back. Push that left leg as straight as you can and start to bow forward with no hands. Bow with no hands. You might have a barking fest here in a moment. I'm not sure. Good. Hands to the floor. So you're in a standing split. Your left leg is up. And then can you bring your hands to your heart center? And can you come all the way back up to that third warrior-ish? And then bring your left leg forward. Good, standing. Very nice. Beautiful. Right knee into your chest. So you're standing, right knee into your chest, arms up to the sky. Good. So come up to stand first. Good. Your left knee is up, arms are up. Now start to send your left leg back behind you. Vera 3, clasp your hands behind your back. Keep the navel in. And start to bow forward. Let your eyes get softer and sweeter. Let your hands touch the floor. Soft landing if you can. Keep that navel in. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Try to rise back up. And then bring both feet down to the floor. Come all the way up. Good. Reach your arms high to the sky, please. Bend your knees, sit back to chair. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Prayer twist to the right. Good. Squeeze that left hip back. Left hip back. Gorgeous. Nice release. And then both arms up, chair. And twist to the other side. Beautiful joy, everybody. Nice, Ronnie, Lydia, Ann. Good, Andrew. Beautiful touchdown. Come into squat. Turn your feet wide, please. Gorgeous, everybody. And then let yourself come all the way down to your seat. Take your legs out in front of you. Stretch them out. And then bow forward, Paschimottanasana. I told you. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Got some barking on my end. You know, it's very, very disturbing when somebody walks in front of the house. Good. If you can, come on up, put your hands behind you, fingertips toward the buttocks, and lift your hips up, keeping the legs straight. Yeah, and open your chest and open your throat. Nice, Audrey. Yeah, Lauren, beautiful. Try to keep those legs straight. Gorgeous. And come all the way back down. All right, now bend your knees and reach for your big toes. So lift your feet off the floor, reach for your big toes and lean back. And then take your legs nice and wide, big open V, heart open. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. Good. And then bring the soles of your feet together and bring your feet down to the floor and lean forward. If you want to try that again, go ahead and lift your feet up, stretch your legs out, lift your heart up, go wide. And then once again, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your feet drop down to the floor and bend forward. And then lift yourself up. Just put your hands on your knees for a moment and just feel as if you keep your knees wide though. Take your knees wide. There you go. Feet are still together, Susan. Feet are together, knees wide. Baddha Konasana still. Yep. And just fall toward your right, like you're going to fall over. And then fall towards your left. Just keep your hands on your knees. And fall to your right, like you're going to fall over. Literally feel like you're about to fall over. Good. Keep doing this. Side to side. And close your eyes if you want to. How far are you willing to try to fall off your own little boat here? Thanks, Andrea. Good. Beautiful. Yeah, that's it. And then come to that place that we would perceive as that center point and come to a cross-legged position. Close your eyes. Always returning to that place of balance where dark and light exist. We always have to fight. There's always a war going on, but the war is in our mind. And when we show up with such love and devotion, like the hunter did, to offer what it is that we have inside of ourselves, no matter how small or how big. Sometimes we think it's just not enough, so we don't do it. But through faith and devotion, offer whatever you have to maintain peace, to maintain that place of equanimity for yourself. And when you do it for yourself, it then becomes a stream for all of those around you. Clasp your hands behind your back, hold on to your left wrist, keep your hands at your low back, and bow forward, bring your forehead toward the floor. Keep your hands at your low back. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Gorgeous. Lie on your back, bend your knees, plant your feet. And just take some deep breaths here. And then if you'd like to take a shoulder stand, you're welcome to do that. If you want to just take your legs straight up to the sky, you're welcome to do that. If you have another inversion of choice, you're welcome to prepare for that. So shoulder stand, legs up. If you want to squeeze, bring yourself over toward a wall, you're welcome to put your legs up a wall. Keep breathing. I wrote a piece a while ago when I returned from India about really watching and observing the people that lived by Mother Ganga, because she is the holy river, right? She's the holy bathing ground of releasing karmas, and full faith in that, right? And that those that live by her feel that they've won the lottery and they look like they have nothing, right? They live in tents. Not everybody that lives by the Ganges lives in tents. There's definitely homes, beautiful homes. My friend Seema lives by Mother Ganga in beautiful home. There's also the community of the tent, people that live in tents. If they're drying their foods and they have very little, but they feel like they have everything. Full faith. You go into Mother Ganga, and it's funny for us who don't have Mother Ganga as that aspect of what we grew up with, right? When you go to India, it's all those things. Don't go in the Ganga. It's so toxic. But every day, millions, they're going and bathing every morning, brushing their teeth. We can't even drink the water there. It's just different. That's why. I mean, we do it for smart reasons, but the faith that they have in the mother. Just take another minute here, wherever you've chosen, and breathe deeply. Trust in nature. Trust in the nature of yourself. Give what you can to the world. Stay at peace. Okay, and then slowly come on down. You can hug your knees into your chest. You roll your head from side to side if you were in shoulder stance, Sarvangasana. Right, asana, you know it, right? It translates to steady. And I can translate them further to peaceful. So then when you go into all these different postures, you find the steady, peaceful place of equanimity. So that's even in the more challenging poses, can we find that place where the nervous system is relaxing? Good, and then come into bridge, just drop your feet down. If you have a block, feel free to lift your butt up and put a block underneath your sacrum, which feels really nice. Or if you want to come into a just gentle bridge, lifting your hips up. If you want to come into full wheel, we've done enough back bends for you to go for it if you want to take a full wheel, for sure. Enjoy your breath here, wherever you are. It is said that community or Sangha is the next guru. Community, Sangha, is that which supports this piece. Surround yourself with other beings that are doing this work. It doesn't mean we always hold our peace. I know that. But we catch it a little faster when we lose it. Gorgeous. And then come on down. And then just hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg down to the floor. You got to lift and shift your hips slightly to the right and bring your right knee down for spinal twist. And come on up and try the other side. Beautiful, everybody. Come back to center, hug your knees into your chest, roll up to sit. Find a comfortable seat. And then close your eyes. Let's take that mudra of equanimity. So your right hand drops on top of your left and your thumbs come to touch. Right hand drops on top of your left, your thumbs come to touch, and then place that on your lap. Lift your chest and make sure you're warm. Close your eyes. Remember the story of the Buddha on the day of his enlightenment. Arrows, whether they were the idea of his mind, whatever they were, arrows were being shot at him. And instead of reacting, he sat in that place of equanimity. So our mind always shooting at us, these different energies. Can you bring your mind back to Krishna, back to peace? And can you know that when something in front of you is disturbing through words, that someone is suffering? Someone has lost their peace, their equanimity. And instead of reacting, can we offer through ourselves, not necessarily our words, nobody wants to hear, you just lost your peace, through loving more. This is the elevation time. This is what the 21st is talking about, not responding, but loving more deeply. Just take a moment, silence, just a moment. You can stay here or come down to lay on your back for Shavasana. And again, make sure you're warm. Ever so gently begin to deepen your breath. Let your body stretch and yawn in any way that serves you well. And if you're lying on your back, hug your knees into your chest, roll to the right side, come on up to sit. Bring your hands to your heart center. We'll chant Om Shanti 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 Om Peace 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 3 times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Om peace, peace, peace. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. Make it great. I will see you soon.
Thank you, Sheryl.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Sheryl.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Sheryl.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Beautiful class.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I love you.
Bye.
Goodbye. 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 Okay.
Yoga would not have been possible today without Zoom.
I know. I know. It's really an incredible new world.
Yes.
Incredible. I know. I know.
Just
We would have never even thought of it.
Right.
I know.
Oh, amazing.
I know. I love staying home too. That was fun. Bye, you guys. Love you.
Bye.